Yeah, what we're seeing right now is we have arrived or are arriving at the perfect storm. What I mean by the perfect storm is the fact that um, we have rents that are not supporting debt. We have sometimes developers that are not flocking to rural communities to develop them. Finding the labor to build has been tough. I mean, there's like a list of things that make it the perfect storm that make it very difficult, but doesn't make it impossible, right? And so the question is, and you've heard me speak to some of our partners here today, is the fact that, what WHEDA is really trying to challenge ourselves through the creation of the WHEDA Lab that's trying to figure out, it's a department within WHEDA talking about innovation, but at the same time, how are we rethinking the resources that we have that can have impact in rural communities? But at the same time, we're trying to carefully and respectfully challenge our rural communities to organize and to think about reinventing themselves and think about what are your priorities, what are your policies and zoning that are in place, how are you organized, can you aggregate opportunity? Because if a rural community comes in and says we only need 10 units, sometimes because of economies of scales, it becomes very difficult. But can you organize with other communities to aggregate opportunities? So what we're seeing here is the fact that this perfect storm is making it more and more difficult, but it doesn't make it impossible, like I mentioned. The perfect storm to making it very difficult to building in rural communities because of, I said, all of these kind of ingredients that come together to make it much more difficult to build. In my new position as a leader, I first of all wanted to pay respect to, I guess, what WHEDA has done and is doing. We're doing amazing things. I think last year we did about $500 million of single-family loans to almost 4,000 first-time home buyers, right? That, you take that away from the state of Wisconsin, I think we're even in more dire need. So I want to pay respect to what WHEDA is doing. But as the new head and lead of the organization, the question is, how do I set a vision forward that can have more impact? One of the first things that I did is really work internally at the efficiency of the organization. It's working wonderfully. But the next thing that I realized is the fact that since WHEDA and the state of Wisconsin right now have limited resource, but we have growing need, the question is, how do we do research around where can we bring additional resource that may potentially not be a state tax credit? Where can we work with industry? Where can we work with healthcare? Where can we work with banks so that they may potentially get involved in being a part of kind of, they call it the capital stack, the investment into building. And so that is something that was already in place in my mind, and now we're working towards those concepts. And what is that? And how do we create a vehicle that makes it easier for additional outside investment so that we can bring it to the building of our buildings?